The meaning of this hadith is that Hazrat Anas radiyallahu anhu said that Nabi al-Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated that in the final 10 days of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given such a night or kept aside such a night which is more greater than 1,000 months. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. For the ummah, it is a great piece of news. Big news for the ummah. And a good fortune for them, and a great opportunity. And a great asset Allah is going to say. Now the pious elders have stated that in reality, that all of the barakat of Ramadan, the objectives of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan, the ni'mas of Ramadan, and as we continue and pass through Ramadan, ultimately Allah Ta'ala in this final ashra, Allah gives us the pinnacle, the peak. That we have the moments in the first ashra, then the second ashra, then Allah Ta'ala puts them all together, combines and gives us the peak in the final 10 days. And this becomes, you can say, the collection, the combined, you can say, greatness in the last 10 days of Ramadan. And such a fountain of mercy that everything is gathered and combined in this final portion, the last 10 days. And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that all of the goodness of Ramadan that has come now to the last ashra, the last 10 days, Allah Ta'ala sealed in one night the goodness. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. Allah Ta'ala has given a great chance that, okay, if in the first 10 days we couldn't succeed, okay, if in the second 10 portion of Ramadan, the second 10 days we couldn't succeed, okay, then in the last ashra, if we can't succeed, then Allah Ta'ala has given such a night that no individual of the ummah should lose out from Ramadan. Subhanallah. So Allah Ta'ala sealed everything in this night. So if we've been lazy in Ramadan, in the first Ramadan, in the second Ramadan, in the third Ramadan, then we are hopeful with the fadl of Allah. We are hopeful that Allah Ta'ala's blessings will come. That we have got such a night now that we should use that night to attain the objective of Ramadan. And along with that objective, Allah Ta'ala has given a reward, that the reward is greater than 1,000 months. 1,000 months, imagine that. That is how great is this night. So the objective of telling us this, or for us to discuss this, is that this night, for us, we should not waste this night. This is our last chance. It's our last chance. We shouldn't waste this night. That Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us himself. He's told us that the person who loses out from this is a hadith now here, that I will explain everything beforehand, and this is the hadith. The person who loses out from this great night, then he has lost out from all of the khair of Ramadan, finished. All of the barakat of Ramadan, ni'mas, ibadat, everything, all of the khair of Ramadan he will lose out from. And is that individual in reality, this is that individual who is a proper loser. And I'm definitely going to get the rewards. But this is not the objective. The actual ultimate goal. This is not the goal or the objective of Ramadan. Everything we've done, ibadat, worship and efforts, this is not the objective. Through our ibadat, this is not the objective of Ramadan. No, this is what we need to understand. What is the objective? How will we attain the objective? That is what we need to do, my friends. And what is that action? That for which Allah Ta'ala has given us Ramadan. And be afraid that Allah, I've got so many sins, where shall I go? Who will save me? Who will forgive me? That Allah, I don't see any goodness inside me. I don't see any good actions that I've done. Allah, there's so much darkness and wretchedness. In the sense, all the orders that you reveal in the Quran, I'm against this. My appearance, my face, my body, my libas, my attire, my household members, my family. The call out from the house is against this. My sitting down in my car is against this. My business is against this. My link with human beings is against this. My talking with people is against this. Not one moment is there in my life that is not against your deen, Allah, according to what you said in the Quran and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's blessed lifestyle, about which you said that I need to live my life like this. Not a second, nothing can I see in my life that's according to this. We should be shaking and trembling. Allahu Akbar. So then, no worries, no problem. We are sinful sinners. Allah says that I love to forgive. Tuhibbul afwa. So we need to get to Allah's call. Do we want to, brothers? Yes. So we need to reach there. We need to arrive there. We stand there, we get there. So now look at this Sahabi. How did he request forgiveness? So now he screamed and cried. He knew he could say astaghfar, Ya Allah forgive me, astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. No, tariqah, the method of asking for forgiveness. He said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, my sins, my sins, my sins." So Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam prescribed him the solution. That you've committed the sins. He said, "Yes." So three things were, you can say, the thinking, the thoughts that were aroused within the Sahabi. We need to make this come into our minds for Allah Ta'ala's forgiveness to come to us. What was the first thought in the Sahabi? That he had regret for his sins. Do you understand regret? Remorse. He felt ashamed about his sins. Genuinely ashamed and remorse. Regret. He was very ashamed in front of Allah that these are my sins, my actions, that Allah have committed sins against you. And he was very ashamed at that time. He had khawf, fear due to being ashamed and regretting. So regret creates the fear. Regret and remorse creates the fear. The second factor element within this great Sahabi's feeling was that he accepted that he had committed a crime. He accepted that I've committed the crime, I've committed the sin, and I, for example, have accepted, I say that I am the most pious, and I say, oh, your salah is not good, worry about yourself, who are you to tell me? We say, quickly responding to advice. And that's why Tabligh Jamaat get pushed around and shoved when they got knocked on the door. Brothers, praise Allah, oh, get out, go away from me. They say. In response, yes, don't you get pushed in your bodies and faces, and they get kicked around and criticized for this reason? Because when they go and speak about deen, they never accept, the third party never accepts, I don't pray salah or I'm sinful. They say, please come to the masjid, we request, we plead, listen to us for a few moments. They say this, don't they? And then those, the worst people, they don't open the door, they just keep knocking on the door. They say, oh, they've come to tell us, pray salah, do this and that. So they hide, and so is he a tabligh who's come to the door? They don't even open the door. Is this not the case, my brothers? Is this not honest? You got the experience of this? So, the feeling of regret and remorse is a great message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That out of hundreds of thousands of people, there won't be people who will accept on this night for committing sins. Music and singing and non-Islamic actions, and they want to do sehri in the morning and drinking and be merry and enjoy, and everything's being done. All sins under the sun. And this will be the night of power. Allah Akbar, this night will have arrived. Why? Because there's no regret, no remorse, no feeling of doing wrong, the accepting. So we need to do these two things. Element number one, we need to be ashamed in front of Allah, that Allah, I am ashamed, and the rest of the time I won't do this. And number two, we need to accept that we've committed this crime. We need to accept that I've spoiled my face, my appearance, I've spoiled my overall appearance, and my body, and my home, my household, and my stomach I've spoiled with haram. And this is called accepting and regretting remorse. And when this regret comes, then inshallah, just like that Sahabi who had that fear and shock, then that feeling will overcome us. And then there will be crying and sobbing, closing the light and crying, drama. This is a drama for half an hour. Like, we see some places, certain masjids, for example, dimming the lights and crying, and for example, Hussain, etc. Don't do these actions. No, don't make things up and show off. This is a genuine night of forgiveness, and the crying will come at that time, and sobbing and shrieking after 3 hours. This isn't how it comes. When regret comes into the heart, you see from the corner in the darkness of the night, you hear the crying and the sobbing, and when the true regret comes into the heart. So do you understand these two elements? This is what we call tawbah. And then the third factor that was present within the Sahabi, subhanallah, that he wasn't present in front of a minor personality. He was in front of the greatest shakhsiyat of all time, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the third thing which is important, which he did, is that now I won't commit these sins again. Yes, so straight away he left the sins. Straight away. At that same time. Immediately. So what's happened has happened, but I won't do these sins again. So these three elements, if we bring to our life, regret and remorse, and feel and accepting that we had committed the crime, and to reject that sin at that same time, right now I reject this sin.